So we've already taken the time to actually connect to Dropbox and authorize the user, but we've not actually done anything useful yet. All we've got back is the information from the user's account, which is, I guess, useful in itself, but we want to start doing things with some files. Now remember, in my text editor I have this files folder which is local to the folder I'm currently working in, and then this apps folder is the folder that will hold all of the different apps that you have authenticated that write files. So in this case I have a code course folder because I've authenticated with my code course Dropbox app. So what we're now going to do is, from our local here, we're going to take this photo.jpg and we're going to place that within our Dropbox folder. So this is going to Dropbox servers, but will then automatically be synced to your Dropbox folder. So the way we do this then is we have to open the file that we want to write as a resource, and then with the client that we've connected to, or the client class, we can use different methods to actually send the file, or upload the file rather. So let's get rid of the dump of the account information. We don't really want that anymore. And now let's focus on uploading files, or upload a file, or whatever. So we need to pull this file in. So I'm going to create a little variable here which is going to open a file. Whichever method that you're using to upload files locally to your server, that's fine. As long as the file then exists, you can then pick that file, open it up, and then send it off to Dropbox. So in my case, I'm just going to manually specify a file that I've already copied over, which is in the files directory, and it's photo.jpg, and we're going to pull that in for reading. So now what we want to do then is also grab the size of the file. So if we create a new variable called size, we just use the PHP file size function, and that allows us to again specify the path to a particular file to grab its size. So that's all we need to do there. Now remember earlier I said if you open up the client.php file within the vendor Dropbox folder, you can access the different methods here. And we have one called upload file. So if we just come over to this, we can see all of the arguments that we can provide. You can look at what it does. There's a few comments here. So the first thing is the path, and that's pretty straightforward. It's just the path that you want this to be sent to on the user's Dropbox folder. This isn't the local path. The next is the write mode, which is a little bit more complicated. We need to use a static method on here on the write mode class. So if we go ahead and open up write mode, you can see if we come down, we see things like add, force, and update, things like that. So what that you usually expect. Then we have in-stream, which is essentially the file that you've pulled in, and we pull that in using fopen. And then we have num bytes, which is the size of the file. So let's go ahead and call this upload file method on the client now. So we say client upload file. We know exactly what this expects. So I'm going to upload this to /photo.jpg. This could probably be the name of this if you were storing these maybe in a database, the file locations and the file names and extensions. But again, we're just going to specify this explicitly. So the next then is the write mode. Obviously, we're namespacing under Dropbox, and we want to pull in that class that we just looked at. And this is going to be, a static method called add, as we've seen. Then we have the actual file itself. We can just pass in file there, and then we need to pass in the size. We already have that, so we just pass size in. So what we're going to do then is we're going to run index.php in the browser. This is going to pull in that file as long as it exists and nothing errors here. We're then going to upload that file to the Dropbox account under photo.jpg. Again, this can be any name you want to store it. And what you'll see is when I return to my text editor, you'll see the file appear here, and this is, remember, my Dropbox account synchronizing folder. So let's go ahead and refresh the index page. That might take a little while because we're obviously sending a file across to the API. And there we go. So if we head over to Sublime Text, and there it is. There's the photo from our files folder that's now living on the user's Dropbox account under photo.jpg. So once we've gone through the process of actually connecting a user, doing things like uploading files is extremely straightforward. As you can see, that was really, really easy to do, just pulling in the file and sending it across. So next, we're going to look at actually reading files. If you're creating some kind of transaction between a user where they upload files on your website and they're automatically synced to Dropbox, you're going to need to at some point be able to download the files that actually exist on the user's Dropbox account. So in the next video, let's look at pulling down files.